Hello and welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today I have something to share that I am really excited about. You may recall in 2024 I received a review copy of a dungeon crawling game called Stalagbite by Midland Miniatures. I thought I was going to like it, but actually I loved it. It perfectly balanced competitive and cooperative gameplay aspects, generated excellent tension as your dwarven heroes were chased through the dark by a goblin raiding party, and it was fun. I ended up rating it as my favourite game of that year. So when Midland Miniatures contacted me and asked if I would like to preview the brand new expansion, I jumped at the chance. This is The Deeper Caverns, which goes live on Kickstarter on the 19th of September 2025. This expansion really ramps up the action. As the dwarfs become bolder, exploring ever deeper, they uncover new threats in the form of the etherfish. And now the goblins are on their guard, posting sentries in the winding tunnels and sending more lurkers to assassinate those pesky intruders. In response, the dwarves are arming themselves for tunnel fighting, using long-reaching spears, and they are bringing extra equipment to get them out of tight spots. The mission is the same: get the gold, but the game has changed. Midland Miniatures have packed a lot into this expansion, so I'm going to quickly go through everything, explaining how you incorporate it into your games and how it changes up gameplay. You will immediately notice a major change regarding how you start your one-off dungeon plunge or campaign. When you choose your dwarf, you will now take two custom meeples, the one from the base game, which is armed with an axe, and a new one, armed with a spear. Metal miniatures are available as an upgrade for the base game, and yes, a similar miniatures upgrade is available as a paid add-on for this expansion as well. I actually have here samples of most of the new miniatures. The 6 new dwarfs sculpted by Martin Baker. These match the original dwarf miniatures, except their axes have been traded in for spears. Then there are 7 new goblin guards armed with spears and shields, and an extra goblin lurker poised to pounce on unwary travellers, all sculpted by the legendary Kev Adams. Finally, I have samples of some of the new etherfish, sculpted by Paul Scott. These look suitably gribbly and a truly unpleasant addition to the caverns in the best possible sort of way. In addition to your playing pieces, you will also take 2 custom dice. Again, the one in your colour from the base game, and then a new one in your colour from the expansion. Finally, you take one of the new double-sided reference cards. This is because your doughty dwarf is now better prepared for the darkness of the caverns. At the start of the game, you can choose to arm yourself with your axe or your spear, flipping your reference card to the relevant side. You can also switch weapons during the game by spending an action. The axe has the potential to deal more damage, as one face of the dice has 2 axe symbols. Meanwhile, the spear can attack 1 space farther and trades out a face with double damage for a face with 1 damage and 1 block, making it a better defensive option. During setup, each dwarf is given 10 gold coins, and then the party leader shuffles the new shop cards and deals 1. Each shop specialises in different types of wares, but will also have a random selection drawn from the new kit deck. Kit offers all kinds of useful bonuses, but watch out, your first purchase must be for a cursed item if one is available. Honestly, what kind of self-respecting dwarf will ever be able to live down wearing a token of elf friendship? Doesn't bear thinking about. Next, your dwarves have to get to the mountain, which means drawing from the new journey deck. You don't have to do this if you don't fancy it, but it gives your adventure a bit more character by randomising each dwarf's starting condition. Will you be bathed in glory from beating up a troll, or will you be disadvantaged by a thief half-inching that cool suit of armour you just bought? And your woes won't end there. Lured by greater treasures, you can now explore the deepest levels of the caverns, all the way down to levels 7 and 8, home to the gelatinous etherfish, which of course have their own unique meeples and custom dice. The etherfish can phase through walls and obstacles, drawn by the life essence of the dwarfs. Once a dwarf is wrapped in those glowing blue tendrils, they will start to lose glory, and only once they have been completely drained of their spirit will they start taking damage. The goblins are more active now as well. You get a second lurker, so you can have up to 2 of the murderous greenskins scurrying around the place. That means more opportunities to get poisoned, so there are 6 new types of poison. And nobody wants to get froggled. Fortunately, the lurkers don't get it all their own way. They now have their own custom dice with fewer defense symbols on it, making them a lot squishier. And when you finally give one a good thrashing, they will drop antidotes. Just watch out for the side effects. The rest of the goblins are also feeling rowdy. There are 6 new hunting cards to add into the mix, and now you have a chance of bumping into goblin guards. They sometimes appear at exits, inside caverns, and in 2 new finales. The guards have cool spiky meeples and a custom dice to reflect they are armed with spears instead of swords. Yes, that means they enjoy greater defensive abilities and a longer reach, just like these spear-wielding dwarves. And if any of these foes give you a good hiding, there are 6 new critical hit cards to add into your critical hit deck. If monsters weren't enough to worry about, these caverns are far from safe, as they are filled with treacherous drops, loose rocks, and a sinister, crawling evil. As you explore, you will discover new cavern tiles, which may contain great riches, but also great problems. New rock tokens conceal the locations of evil idols, which sap glory and deny nearby dwarves the opportunity to reroll dice. And there are more incident cards to mix in with your base game incidents. Additionally, more cavern cards will introduce extra environmental effects and special encounters. But the dwarfs have leveled up their game too. They have access to a wedge of new skills, including some designed to make life easier when fighting etherfish. Plus, there are brand new relics, spears and shields. Naturally, some of them are cursed, but you can't have everything. Fortune favours the bold, and dwarves may now find treasure chests. These sometimes appear in the new chamber tiles, where they are often heavily guarded. A dwarf can carry 1 chest, and if they get it out of the caves, all of the dwarves can opt in to get a share of the loot. First, the owner of the chest draws a chest card and resolves the effects. Then the chest token is flipped and the treasure divided up. Interestingly, the chests can also be used as a diversion. If you leave them in the caves, when you find an exit, you can add a card to the goblin hunting party for each chest, as the greedy greenskins stop to argue over who gets all the loot. And that just about does it for new content, but I feel this is all adding a huge amount to the base game experience. You get loads more variety for the things you already have, such as skills, incidents and relics, plus new enemies, new caverns to explore, and plenty of options for dealing with threats, including the kit items and the option to switch from axe to spear. Meanwhile, the unique shops and travel encounters add some extra random silliness, but are modular enough that you can leave them out of your games if you would prefer. Best of all, this expansion increases the greenskin presence, and as a greenskin at heart, I definitely approve. Remember, the crowdfunding campaign for Stalagbite The Deeper Caverns goes live on the 19th of September 2025, and you can check it out right now by following the link in the video description below. And that is it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.